everybody, it's the coach, and this is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see a man on his 8th NFL team, Ryan Fitzpatrick, and the Miami Dolphins as they score.
Coach, we have a damp and rainy afternoon in the tri-state area as EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to MetLife Stadium in the Garden State of New Jersey. Today, it's a Week 14 matchup that should be a good one between the Miami Dolphins and the New York Jets. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Jets work their way onto the field, led by the number 3 overall pick in 2018, Sam Darnold. And during the offseason, Darnold was asked where he was looking to improve. He told everybody being more comfortable in the pocket. He looked back to the numbers from his rookie campaign, 17 touchdowns and 13 starts. So just imagine what a relaxed and more experienced Darnold might be able to accomplish with a stronger set of receivers now here in 2019. They'll run here with a former Steeler. This is Le'Veon Bell. It'll go as a loss of 3 right away, and it's second down. Okay, there's a tone setter. First play from scrimmage. Stuff him in the backfield.
You know what they were doing last night in the hotel room? Visualizing exactly that. That's what they were thinking about. Making that play, having leverage, lower than the offensive lineman, getting into the offensive backfield, knocking someone down. Just what you said, setting the tone early for this game.
Jeez, you are fired up.
When I see a play like that, I can't help it.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Here's Darnold. He's going to find his tight end. That's Chris Herndon. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. And by the end of last year, Herndon had solidified himself as the primary tight end for New York. And overall, 2nd leading receiver in 2018 on the team behind Robbie Anderson. In fact, his 39 catches, most among rookie tight ends in the league a season ago. From the gun on 3rd down, here's Darnold. Got his man, Robbie Anderson. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
On now to kick it away is the punter, Matt Weil. Back deep, Antonio Brown. They punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. This is taken at the 18. Call that a 45-yard punt, just 2 yards there on the return. And it'll be Dolphin football. So now here are the Dolphins getting set for their first drive. They'll be brought out by the veteran in his 16th season now from Harvard, Ryan Fitzpatrick.
And no excitement unless you're on the defensive team of last week in his numbers, because the only excitement he really generated was the 1 interception he threw.
Yeah, no touchdown passes.
Yeah, and his team wasn't real thrilled about that. And they lost the game. So I know this week has been tough on him because he's been working hard. Fundamentals, footwork, finding the right targets. And bottom line, how do they get a win?
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Antonio Brown, the intended receiver. And it's 2nd down. On your screen now, here are the offensive starters. At wideout, Antonio Brown is certainly someone that the defense always has to account for.
Without a doubt, a true number 1 receiver. It doesn't matter to him how defenses want to cover him. He sees it as a challenge and knows how to defeat him.
A first carry for Samaje Perine. Gets this to the 24 for a gain of 4. Defensively, here are the starters for the New York Jets. They're going to need to be strong against the run in this one.
Now if they could just get their pass defense in line, this unit would be really, really strong. And remember the conversation with the defensive coordinator? He wants them to rush the passer better. He wants to see the quarterback on the ground. They've got to create some sacks.
And he said it starts early and often. We'll see if they can get to him. Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
A big boot that time. 57 yards the official distance. And the Jets will take over 1st and 10. New York set to take the field. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
Bound to lose one.
Able to power through. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1. And we take a look now at the New York offense.
And with all the moves the New York Jets made in the offseason, one of the more valuable pickups, Kelechi Osemele, a 2-time Pro Bowl guard who they got from the Raiders in a trade back in March. You know the Jets are going to try and run the football with Le'Veon Bell now. Osemele is one of the best moving guards in the NFL.
Darnold will throw it on 3rd and 1. Throw complete to Herndon. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And this is picked up by the Dolphins. And hopefully for both sides, not a sign of things to come, Charles. This morning, it was so perfect outside, but we knew this weather was coming, and we see the effects of it here early on.
And I wonder if how perfect it was this morning has psychologically fooled everyone. You know, it's almost like even though we were told the weather was coming, and you know the teams knew it as well, then maybe they got fooled and thought, it's going to be okay. And now they're probably a little upset that it's out there.
Because warm-ups were dry.
Oh, well, dry. Now you've got to make the change up, and it's the first quarter. Might take them a little time to settle in on their focus and concentration.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Throwing again. Fitzpatrick. That's complete to his tight end, Mike Gesicki. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. He missed on his first 3 passes, was 0 for 3. Now gets a connection. Maybe that'll get him going.
Yeah, it wasn't a time for panic, but there was some concern because once you start in a certain pattern, you wonder, can you get out of it? And that flips the other way, too, when you're throwing it really well. In this case, now he's got his first completion. They think he might be off to the races.
Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage.
And a fake here. Direct snap to the up man. And he won't get there. They stop him a few yards short of the line to gain. A little trickeration there, but it doesn't fool him. And the Jets are going to get the football back. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
On 1st and 10, Darnold. On the catch, it's Crowder. And he's got this down a yard or 2 shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. Time for a look at our starters here on defense. They're a top 5 unit right now against the pass in the league. In fact, they sit at number 5.
And I'm struggling a little bit trying to really categorize this crew. They're top 10 in the league against the pass.
Oh, he tried to pitch it, and the ball's loose. He's got a first out and more inside the 30. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Jamison Crowder. His 4th touchdown on the year. As his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter.
I'm glad we were paying attention during the rules seminar because we learned the only time you can't advance a fumble like that is in the last 2 minutes of either half.
Right. Other than that, if that ball's out, whether forward or backwards, it's live and free for anybody.
No doubt about it. When you say free, that means he's got free reign to pick it up and go. And that's exactly what happened there. Took it in for a touchdown.
This fielded at the 2. And take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. A first update now from Cleveland, and it's the Browns out to the early advantage. And we'll keep an eye on that one as our game goes along here. First down, Fitzpatrick. This is caught by Antonio Brown. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. The numbers for Antonio Brown in last week's ball game: 4 catches, 68 yards.
That was a nice job there pulling that one in. Now, this is an offense that will certainly spread the ball around a bit, and this is a guy that defenses have better focus on.
Now an open man. That's the tight end, Gesicki. It's complete, and he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Regular. 57.
Fitzpatrick on first down. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. Second down. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
They'll run with a second-year man from ASU, Kalen Ballage. And this may be a carbon copy as he'll again be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. They go play action. Fitzpatrick. He's going deep for Brown. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 25. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. After the interception, here's Darnold. This one caught by Crowder. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. From up near the 40 now after the big play to start. Here's another 1st and 10. Here's Darnold. That'll be taken in by Anderson. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. He was the leading receiver for the Jets a season ago. Robbie Anderson, 50 catches, over 750 yards, and getting more and more comfortable with Sam Darnold. Now a year plus under their belts collectively. We figured that those numbers for Anderson might be trending further north. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. That makes third down a lot more interesting.
It certainly does. How about the example of situational football there and his ability to think the play through? Second and short, not anticipating a passing play, sold out and made a great tackle, which brings up third down.
He's going to air one out for Anderson. That is caught by Anderson for a Jets touchdown. Robbie Anderson with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Jets will extend their lead. So on 3rd and medium, they dial up the pass, and it works to hit the end zone.
And it's really not a surprise to me. That's a throwing down in the NFL because of how tough it is to run the football. But what offenses like to do is still show run formations to make them respect it and throw out of those. In this case, they took a nice shot at the end zone and made it pay off.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown 1 interception. He wants to balance that off with at least 1 touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Fitzpatrick. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Henry Anderson in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
This offensive line has struggled. In fact, when we sat down with the coach, he said it's been in tatters lately. They allowed 6 sacks in their last game. Just gave up another one right there.
In tatters, so it sounds a little bit like this right now.
Exactly. It's like that paper being ripped. And right now, they've got to find a way to get it back together.
Well, he was looking for Parker, but it's intercepted. Picked off at the 38. Parker unable to get that one.
So that's back-to-back drives where they're throwing an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
And he's going to get this inside the 30. It'll go as a gain of 11 and a Jets first down.
First play of the drive, excellent run. Just sets up wash, rinse, repeat. Another first down.
Now a first down carry by Bell. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. 14 yards is the pickup there at a Jet first down.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of the yardage just come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They'll pick up another first down with that run.
They'll run it with Bell. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. No gain on the play there. Second down. Now a draw play. This is Bell. And effective running here. He'll take it down inside the 10. A 6-yard pickup on the ground that time, and that'll make it 3rd and 4 coming up. Darnold. And this is going to be incomplete. Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point. And they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
Now let's discuss Antonio Brown as he heads back out there now. They've got to be thinking, how can we get him a little bit more involved here? Second quarter, you're down, and really, he's been out of the mix.
I would agree with that, and oftentimes you hear, well, we're just taking what the defense is giving us. But sometimes that's just not good enough. Sometimes you have to take what you want, and that means getting him the football.
Yeah, so far just a single catch in this game. Coming up to the line, and they will need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. From the 30 on second down. Fitzpatrick, this taken in by Jakeem Grant. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. It's a gain of 35. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Fitzpatrick throwing complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Dolphin first down. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. That is caught inside the 5. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. 17 yards on the play as they try to eat into this 17-point deficit. Seems as if the passing attack's starting to heat up a little bit here in the second quarter.
You can sense and you can see.
And he takes it into the end zone for the Dolphin touchdown. Samaje Perine. His 5th touchdown now on the year as they are now on the board here in the first half. And there you go. Nothing really too complex. Block, keep to your assignments, let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. This fielded at the 2. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. This Jets offense heading back out there now, led by Sam Darnold. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of him. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes. But right now, he's got his team in a good spot.
A good spot, maybe looking for touchdown pass number 2 here in the second quarter. That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7.
3 down.
Back to throw, Darnold. It's caught by Quincy Enunwa. Getting it to him in space pays off big time. That winds up going for 31.
Well, you don't have to be a genius to watch this game and figure out they've had plenty of success moving the football here in the first half. We've seen exhibits A, B, C, and right on down the line, haven't we?
Yeah, we just saw exhibit Z right there. He's got Herndon, his tight end.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. Darnold to throw again. And that's going to be incomplete. Something we haven't really seen much of from him, an incomplete pass.
Yeah, last week he finished at 70%. This week he's up over 80%. I don't know how you slow him down. Pass rush is usually the best way because a quarterback on his back usually can't complete a pass.
And he'll be taken down shy of the 25 that he needed. He'll be a yard or 2 short. The Dolphins going to take their second timeout as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. And his kick is indeed good. And that will open the lead up now to 20-7. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Samaje Perine on the offense heading back out there. And for him, it's been pretty limited involvement. Down on the scoreboard, maybe time to turn to this guy.
And you know me well. Winning games to me means starting with the running game and continuing to press the running game. Maybe you go away from him a little bit now, but the bottom line is he hasn't touched it enough to make a difference.
Well, they haven't established that running game yet. The question is, will they? An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a first down. The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already. Laundry on the field. This is going to be a false start on the offense.
Sometimes you have to slow things down a little bit when things get heated. The cadence has to be slow and deliberate at times to make sure your team's ready to go.
It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up second.
Here we go. 57's Mike. Mike 57.
Jim, go Jim.
They go play action here on first down. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off at about the 31. And he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line. That late in the clock, second quarter, why not just run it a time or 2 and get it into the locker room?
What you're saying makes absolutely perfect sense. Run it and get out of there. But I'm just wondering if the pressure of today's NFL and the high-powered offenses that you're facing may force them into saying, let's try and get some more points.
Herndon's got it complete. The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. To throw is Darnold. And that is incomplete. Down to 15 seconds now. So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. The shotgun snap for Darnold. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Again, Darnold. A screen to Bell. And they'll burn the timeout with 5 seconds left. A chance to try to add 3 points before heading to the locker room. So on 2nd down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. From the right hash, this from 44 yards out. And his kick here is good. And that will extend their lead even further. So a capper there to a pretty good first half.
And I love the way that they put a chokehold on the clock and pretty much drained everything before they put the field goal on the board as they headed into the half.
That'll be taken in the end zone. So we reach half. And now due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the second half. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. And he's looking to take much better care of the football here in half 2 after 3 first-half interceptions.
We don't have to just look strictly at the numbers here.
Now Fitzpatrick hit. It's out. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, the teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And he'll take this forward only up to about the 7. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a 3rd down and long. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Again, here's Pirine. And he'll lose yardage and be down at the 7-yard line. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
But these guys are going to chop into that deficit. They got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
Crowder now to return. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Jets will have a short field to work with as they take over 1st and 10. We remind you that coming up later tonight, Sunday Night Football. Seems like we've seen the Seahawks quite a bit in prime time the last few weeks, and we get them again tonight. Under pressure now, Darnold, and he goes down. Give the sack to Jerome Baker. Chalk that up as their first sack in this game, and they tallied 4 a week ago.
And probably not as much exultation in that sack as what took us so long. Because when you get 4 the previous week, you're counting on continuing that momentum. They didn't get that done in the first half of the game. Let's see now if they start to bring even more exotic pressure towards the quarterback.
Well, the 2nd down throw on target. They'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for 3rd down. And the line to gain here is the 37 on 3rd down. Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. Open man is Anderson. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. That one goes for 24 yards.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Here's Darnold. That one complete to Anderson. This will be a 5-yard pickup as they move it from the 20 to the 15. 5 yards on the catch there brings up 2nd down.
Many teams, as soon as they spot man defense, if they haven't called a hitch, they'll get to it as fast as they can. They want to put the ball in the hands of one of their best playmakers and hope that he can break a tackle.
And he's going to take it in for a Jets touchdown. Robbie Anderson with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season. And the Jets will extend their lead.
A lot of people might call this backyard football. Sometimes just understanding who you've got out wide and who you're going to throw it to. Give him an opportunity to go up and make a play, even when contested. Looks like that one worked out pretty well. The trust factor in effect.
A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good. And that pushes the lead up to 23. That's fielded in the end zone. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. On 2nd and 9. Fitzpatrick, nowhere to escape, and he goes down. C.J. Mosley, the linebacker, making sure his presence is felt.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than a normal. And he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line. Henry Anderson, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
I think we've seen this before. If someone's down 3 scores, that situation there, it's just going to add to their growing frustrations, don't you think?
Yeah, a bad number 3 right now. 3-score game, 3rd quarter, 3 and out, not what they wanted. And you can tell on the sideline, those faces are getting a little bit longer as this one goes. Robbie Anderson making his way back onto the field. And I know that they double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this, but it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
On 2nd and 12, Darnold. Crowder's got it over the middle. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
Some think that teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice. An ambitious effort, but it's well short. And this score will stay right where it is. That would have been from way downtown. Pretty big roll of the dice, and he comes up a bit short.
Yeah, you knew when you saw the holder setting up on the other side of the 50 that this was going to be a long shot. But to me, there's really no loss here because you've shown confidence in him. Kicking it from a long distance, that'll pay dividends. And the miss, you can shake that one off. It wasn't likely to make it in the first place.
A Miami 1st down on the 14-yard pickup. Fitzpatrick now to throw on 1st down. And that one knocked away and incomplete. Nice job defensively on what will be the final play of the 3rd quarter. Back now here on EA Sports. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. 2nd down, looking to throw, Fitzpatrick. And this is what here? Incomplete, they say. It looked like it was intercepted, but he apparently did not get the 2 feet down in bounds. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Fitzpatrick again. And almost intercepted. That would have been his 3rd pick in this game alone. Instead, 4th down. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
Now they go for it on fourth, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. The Dolphins can't convert on fourth down, and the Jets are going to get the football back. Well, that's another mistake there on the drop pass on fourth, and we've seen him do things like this all game.
It's not hard to figure out why they're down by that deficit. They haven't made plays that are going to keep them in the game or win the game all game long. That's another example right there. It all boils down at the end of it to execution. Either you make the play or you don't.
On second down, it's Bell. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And Anderson's got it. And he's going to be taken down at the 39, clearly short of the first by a few yards. They get 7 there, but it brings up fourth.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. So the Dolphins offense heading out as we give you a look at the playoff race in the AFC. And I tell you, 4 weeks still to go, and everything is wide open, and it's fun.
And I know we always talk about, well, if the playoffs were to begin today, and then we kind of go, okay, but they're not. Let's see how it plays out. Wouldn't it be fun to play with this playoff lineup right now? Because to me, just about anyone can win this whole thing out of this grouping we currently have. And by the time we get there, it may look entirely different.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Now whistles and a flag, and I believe a Dolphin got going a little early. And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5. A false start penalty, and now they're back to needing 10 yards on second down. Here's Fitzpatrick. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
And it's caught by Parker. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A gain of 22.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
Fitzpatrick finding his tight end Gesicki. A Miami first down, that one going for a gain of 11. 5th catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. Used to be occasional, right? Safety valve. Throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
And that's going to be another first down as the tackle made at the Jets' 35.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size, can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Grant. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
57's the mic. 80!
Let's get it together, defense. Let's get it together.
They'll run here with Balazs. And he'll get about 3 just outside the 10, stopped at the 11. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Fitzpatrick. And it's caught. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. The quick slant, good for 8 and a first.
I think a lot of people ask the same question all the time. Why do we see so many slants in the red zone? Well, the windows are tighter. Everything's more condensed. It has to be quicker, and you got to deliver the ball on time. Your biggest worry? Ball gets tipped in the air. Because if that happens, then it's fair game for the defense.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. They'll go again from the 3 here on 2nd and goal. They'll go to P-Rod, trying to pound it in. And not even back to the line of scrimmage this time as they're on him quickly once more.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
They run it with Balazs. And yet again, nowhere to run. This time maybe we'll get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And he will be brought down well shy of the goal line. They pass up the 3, fake it, it doesn't work. And the Jets are going to get the football back.
Check. You go tight. You got tight.
They'll start the drive with a carry by Bell. And he's up past the 10 to about the 12. And credit the tackle to Taco. Taco Charlton with a stop.
At the 12-yard line.
Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
Check 55 to right. Coming, baby. I'm coming, baby. Woo!
Now Anderson on the jet sweep. And he's going to come up well shy of the first here as the tackle's made right around the 12. The Dolphins going to take their 2nd timeout as they get the stoppage with 65 seconds remaining. Here's Matt Weil now, standing about a yard deep in his own end zone. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Dolphins will begin this drive in great field position, 1st and 10. They're all finished in that game in Cleveland, and it's a big-time advantage for the Browns. They just scored again, pouring it on. Another victory perhaps in the cards. They're looking as good as anybody as the playoffs draw near.
54, right 80! Check. Watch 54.
Let's set a tone, fellas.
A first down throw for Fitzpatrick. This one into the hands of the running back, Balazs. It'll be a gain of 6, and it'll make it a 2nd down. Now they got to get to the line quickly. Throwing again on 2nd down. Fitzpatrick. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. Some boos coming down right now from this home crowd after that call.
Yeah, and that was because of the pass interference call, but for a second there, I thought maybe they'd gotten a look at my appearance as Othello in the high school play.
You were Othello?
Not a good one, let me tell you.
Holding offense.
Well, your QB's been sacked 4 times in the game already, and they're the holding call.
And you know darn well the offensive line coach is frustrated and upset that he's been hit that many times already. He doesn't really care that they hold now. Just don't let him get hit anymore.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Parker the intended target, but it's going to be second down. So they'll come up after the incompletion for second down. Play action now. Fitzpatrick rolling to his right. And that'll be incomplete with just 6 seconds left on the clock. The intended receiver was Jakeem Grant, and it's third down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down.
Hey, chill.
Here's P-Ryan. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. Oh, wait, hold everything. A timeout has been called. Seemingly silly with 1 second remaining in this game. And how about this? 4th and long, and they're going to go for it.
Hey, color.
One last shot now for Fitzpatrick. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that's going to be intercepted. Jamal Adams with it, the all-pro safety. So it's a victory here for the New York Jets. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for the Jets, their very slim playoff hopes remain as they move to 6-7 on the year. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Baltimore Ravens.